So, you want to know how to avoid plagiarism? Plagiarism is when you use words, thoughts, or ideas that belong to someone else without giving them credit. The credit part is important because almost all articles in nonfiction books do use information that came before them, but they also give credit to those other sources. According to Niagara University's academic integrity policy, plagiarism is a major form of academic dishonesty involving the presentation of the work of another as one's own. For example, consider it plagiarism if you use or copy any portion of someone else's work, including journal articles and books, without acknowledging the author. Copy and paste any material from any internet website without acknowledging the source. Turn in someone else's paper as your own. Turn in your own paper that was previously written for another class, or buy a paper online. Plagiarism is a matter of degree, and writers don't often realize they are doing it. This can result in what we call unintentional plagiarism. Some students truly don't know that they're doing something wrong when they paraphrase information without citing the information source. They might feel that paraphrasing the words of someone who is clearly an expert on the topic is the best way to write an accurate paper. And because they aren't quoting it directly, it doesn't need quote marks or attribution, does it? Unfortunately, this is not the case. Even if you don't use the exact wording of someone else, you still need to credit them for the idea or information. So unintentional plagiarism is still plagiarism. While the penalties they receive might, and this is a big might, be less severe than someone who buys a paper online or copies and pastes a big section of material into their work, the penalties could still be substantial. The most common forms of plagiarism include cutting and pasting internet material, paraphrasing incorrectly, and failing to cite sources. Citing a source means that in your paper you provide information on the author and publication in which the information originally appeared. You've probably heard about the different citation formats such as APA and MLA, and this is where they would be used. A citation usually includes two parts. One is the in-text citation, where you give a brief piece of information about the source in parentheses. The second part is a list at the end, either called references or works cited. This is where you give a full citation that includes the author, title of the work, etc. So what should I cite? If you copy an exact sentence or paragraph from a book, article, website, blog posting, or anywhere online or in print, you must cite your source. If you use some of the exact phrases in a sentence or paragraph, even if you are not copying the whole sentence or paragraph, you must cite your source. If you do not use the exact sentence or phrase but paraphrase it, or use ideas inherent in the exact sentence or phrase, you must cite your source. To avoid committing plagiarism, even unintentionally, make sure you do this in each paper you write. Acknowledge each source that your ideas came from, and then either enclose the words taken directly from each source in quotation marks, or paraphrase the material into your own words. You may have heard the saying, if you steal from one person, it's plagiarism. If you steal from many, it's research. While it makes for a funny quote, it's not really accurate. Whether you take information from just one person or many people, what makes the difference is whether or not you acknowledge them, and whether or not you use quotations or paraphrasing as appropriate. Here are some more tips that can make things easier. 1. Keep track of your sources. As you search across Google, the library website, and other resources, save materials you plan to use. That way, you'll always know where a certain piece of information came from. Either print them out or save them electronically. NU Library provides students with a free subscription to Noodle Tools, a citation management program that works great for this. 2. Properly use direct quotes. If all of the words you use are identical to the source, it is a direct quote. For a direct quote, you need to know where the quote begins and ends. Integrating a quotation into your text usually involves two elements: a signal that the quotation is coming, generally the author's name or a reference to the work, and an assertion that indicates the relationship of the quotation to your text. Often both the signal and the assertion appear in a single introductory statement, as in this example. Notice how a transitional phrase also serves to connect the quotation smoothly to the introductory statement. Ross, 1993, in her study of poor and working class mothers in London from 1870 to 1918, that's the signal, makes it clear that economic status to a large extent determined the meaning of motherhood. That's the assertion. Among this population, that's the connection, to mother was to work for and organize household subsistence. That's the quote. 3. Paraphrase effectively. Many students struggle with paraphrasing. The steps to paraphrase effectively are: 1. Read your research material in small chunks. 2. Write down keywords. 3. Look away from the source and think about what you want to say. 4. Write your version of the material using your keyword prompts. Changing just a few words in the sentence won't get you off the hook. It's still plagiarism. 4. Ask for help. If you have a question about integrating sources into your paper, ask your professor. You can also ask a tutor from the Writing Center. One of their locations is in the library, and you can make an appointment online through MyNU. And you can also ask a librarian for help. At the end of this video, we'll provide a list of all the ways to contact us. 5. Don't procrastinate. Plan ahead. Do not wait until the last minute, as this will lead to sloppy work. Be sure to stay organized. Now, does this mean you should include a citation for every single fact in your paper? No. Citations are not required for information that is considered common knowledge. The Scott-Forestman Handbook for Writers defines common knowledge as facts, dates, events, information, and concepts that belong generally to an educated public. No individual owns the facts about history, physics, social behavior, geography, current events, popular culture, and so on. Examples of common knowledge include: the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The 13 colonies formed the United States of America. The capital of Wisconsin is Madison. The other thing you don't need to cite is your own opinions and ideas. Now you know how to avoid plagiarism. If you still have questions, feel free to contact NU Library for assistance.